The Ford Ranger is a compact pickup first introduced to the US market for the 1983 model year. This 2000 model is part of the third generation that was sold from the 1998 to 2012 model year. Now, although the third generation Ranger looks very similar to the second generation model that came before it, it does see a number of major changes. It's got a revised chassis, upgraded suspension, new rack and pinion steering, and some powertrain upgrades. We'll also see a few changes on the aesthetic front. It's got new fenders, a revised grille and bumper design, new headlights and taillights, and then it also has an aluminum hood. Now, overall, in terms of styling, the Ranger has a very typical Ford conservative, clean look to it that's aged pretty well. The second generation model of the Ranger came out for the 1994 model year, and they didn't really change a whole lot about the overall design of this truck until it was discontinued after 2012, and they came out with a new generation very recently. So this generation was around for a really long time, did age very gracefully, but definitely started to show its age as it got up there in years. Now, this generation of the Ranger was available in either a regular cab configuration or this super cab configuration, which adds two little jump seats in the back. And then you could either get it with a regular bed or this flare side bed. Now, the flare side bed is a thing of the past. We don't see these anymore. This was very popular in the 90s and the early 2000s. Definitely gives the vehicle kind of a sporty look, very different appearance, but it does cut down on the functionality of the bed. You'll see that it's pretty small back here. But definitely kind of a unique design cue that you don't see anymore, and something that's kind of unique about this era of the Ranger. Now, the Ranger is available in 5 different trim package configurations. They've got the XL, XLT, STX, FX4, and the Sport model. This vehicle is the XLT model, which is kind of a mid-range trim package and comes with a pretty nice level of overall refinement and some design cues that gives it a little bit more upscale appearance. One of those is this set of wheels, which look a little bit nicer than kind of your basic wheel package on the Ranger. Set of 15-inch rims. And then inside we've also got a number of features. We've got the chrome up on the grille. This vehicle's 4x4, so the Ranger's available in either rear-wheel drive or with the 4-wheel drive. And one thing that's really cool about this generation of the Ranger is that it really is a true compact truck. It used to be that we had compact trucks and full-size trucks. Now it's really mid-size trucks and full-size. There aren't too many true compact options out there, or any. And so something that's kind of cool about this generation of the Ranger. You'll see up front, again, we've got that chrome on the grille as well as the bumper, something that you won't see on some of those more basic trim package offerings. We've also got the fog lights down in the lower bumper there. And then also with the paint, we've got the little pinstripes along the side here, part of that XLT package. They've also added some aftermarket chrome along the bottom there, spice it up a little bit, and we've also got mud flaps at the front and the rear. So overall, pretty good looking truck. Definitely has aged pretty well, especially given that this really first came out in 1994. Looking inside the Ranger, you'll see that it's got a very basic interior, despite the fact that this is that mid-level XLT package. And that's really just a sign of the times. Truck interiors were pretty basic 20 years ago compared to today's standards. Still has a pretty clean overall layout, but comes with very few options. We've got manually operated windows and door locks. Driver and passenger side do have some little storage cubbies built into the door here. Seats are also manually operated. To the left of the steering column, we've got our controls here for parking lights and headlights, as well as a dimmer switch for the instrument cluster. Lever on the steering is for brights and blinkers. On the steering wheel, we've got controls for our cruise control. Very basic instrument cluster with tachometer and speedometer. Shifter on this side for gears as well as overdrive. And then here in the middle, we've got our electronically controlled 4-wheel drive system with a 4 low and high option. It is a switch on the fly system, meaning that you can switch that while the vehicle is moving. Below that, we've got our cigarette lighter. And then in the middle, we've got our audio system with AM/FM radio and a 6-disc CD player. Climate control below that, single zone system with heat and air conditioning. And below that, we've got a key switch for our passenger side airbag, so that can be turned on or off manually. 2 cup holders. And then in the middle, we've got our center console here. You can open that by pushing this button. We've got coin storage. A few other little organizers built in. And then this can fold up into a middle seat. So you can sit 3 occupants in the front. And then if we go to this side, pull on this lever here and the seat back folds forward and the seat slides. And you'll see that access is pretty limited. Now this generation of the Ranger does have the option of a rear hinge door for the Super Cab to help with that access, but it's only an option, so this vehicle doesn't have that. So you'll see it's pretty tight to get back here. Now you'll see it's fairly spacious back here for cargo or other items. And then if you want to put a couple small passengers in, we've got these little jump seats that fold down and face into the middle. So one on the driver's side and then another one over here on the passenger side. So not the most comfortable or spacious seats, but nice to have that option available for the occasional use. For 2000, there were 3 different engine options available on the Ranger. The base engine was a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder with 119 horsepower. That was paired to a 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual and saw an EPA rating between 18 to 20 in the city and 23 to 24 miles per gallon on the highway. This vehicle's got the 3-liter 6-cylinder, which has 150 horsepower and is paired to a 4-speed automatic. You also have the choice of a 5-speed manual. Sees an EPA rating of 14 to 16 in the city and 18 to 21 on the highway. They also offered a 4-liter 6-cylinder with 160 horsepower paired to either a 5-speed manual or automatic transmission. That engine sees an EPA rating of 14 to 16 in the city and 19 to 21 miles per gallon on the highway. Without a doubt, my favorite thing about the Ranger is its compact size. In today's market, you can buy a mid-size truck and you can buy a full-size truck, but compact trucks are non-existent. And I think it's a real shame because there's something cool about the fact that this is small, it's easy to drive, it's fairly fuel efficient, and yet it's also got a bed in the back, so you can use it for some of those utility purposes. You can do some mild towing, and it's inexpensive. I think that's something really great that's missing within the market. I think one of these days, a manufacturer is going to come along, they're going to build a good compact truck, because we have seen a few bad ones in recent years, but somebody's going to come out with a good one. It's going to do really well, and all of the other automakers are going to be rushing in to join the party. Now, beyond that, the overall ride quality of the Ranger is definitely subpar. It feels like a 20-year-old truck. It feels like it's inexpensive. Pretty rough ride, quite a bit of road noise, wind noise. Steering feel's not amazing, but it doesn't really matter because it is a 20-year-old truck. It's got kind of an old school feel to it, and it's just basic and simple, and I like it. It really doesn't bother me because of what this is. So that's the 3rd generation model of the Ford Ranger. Overall, a pretty good package with this truck, and I'm convinced that the only reason this truck failed after 2012 is because Ford didn't do enough to continue to advance the Ranger. If you think about it, despite some of the changes they did with that 3rd generation and a few other incremental changes along the way, this truck was essentially introduced to the US market in 1994 and lasted until 2012. That is a huge testament to the quality of this truck and the loyal fan base that came with it. It's the reason why this truck was the best-selling compact truck on the market from 1987 to 2004. It's a shame they didn't do more to keep it alive, continue to advance it, but it is nice that the Ranger is back for 2019. If you're looking to get into a small truck that is affordable, this generation of the Ranger is going to be a really good option for you to consider. If you have any comments or questions on the Ranger, leave them in the comments below. For more car reviews, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.